So this is my October haul. It's a little bit late, but I was been pretty busy, so I'm finally getting it out there for you. This is going to be a shorter video, different than my last one, so I'll just get right to it, to what I acquired in the month of October. This is pretty much all of them right here, and then I'm going to start with the first one, which is The Nightwalkers by Otto Kuntz. A book I've never heard of before. I thought it was a young adult book, but it's actually an adult fiction horror book. Pretty short book too, really thin right there. It's The Nightwalkers by Otto Kuntz, and there you go. Okay, and then the next one is going to be Fairytale by Raymond E. Feist. And this is dark fantasy mixed with some elements of horror. It has a nice cover when you open it up. Right there, some nice artwork. And this was Bantam Spectra, published by. Pretty brand new condition. I found this at Savers, which I find a lot of books there. Almost brand new, actually, so that's pretty nice. Okay, and the next one is a book I've never owned before, Nightmares and Dreamscapes, Stephen King. This is published by Signet. This is, I believe, several stories in there. Never owned this one before. Also from Savers, pretty good condition. I think this is the original first printing of the paperback with that cover. I know it's been reprinted several times again with different covers. And that's Nightmares and Dreamscapes. And check out that price, $6.99, which I know you're not going to find anymore for $6.99 this book. It's probably doubled in price. All right. And let's see, next one is Lily by R.R. Walters, which is published by Tor. I do have another book by this author, which is called Ladies in Waiting, which I enjoyed that one. This one came from Fifth Books online. Very interesting artwork on that one, which I like, supposed to be about Lilith and the demons. Pretty much brand new condition also. You can see that's Tor Books. There's the back. This was published in 1988. That's Lily by R.R. Walters. Okay. And the next one is Dark Mask. This is an anthology I've never owned before, edited by Jane Williamson, who was quite a few books out in the 80s, most of them published by Zebra. This particular edition, Dark Mask, I think it's 2 volumes in one. There's a Mask 1 and a Mask 2, and they went ahead and included it in this edition, which is almost 500 pages, which is great. I mean, there's like, I think over 20 or 25 stories in this one. A lot going on in this book. So I had to pick that up, and you can see the great price right there. $1.99 from Goodwill. So a lot of good stories in there, and authors, Dark Mask. Okay. And then the next one I picked up, this is actually came from the Thrift Books also, is movie tie-in edition of Crimson Peak, which was a pretty interesting movie. I did enjoy that one. This was novelization by Nancy Holder. So this is Crimson Peak. Interesting book. Sorry about that. A movie tie-in. Interesting movie if you get a chance to see it. It's a pretty gothic movie with suspense. A little bit of horror thrown in there. So if you like this director's stuff, Guillermo del Toro, you can check that one out. Pretty decent. I only got this for like $2 online. All right, and then next one is Death Day by Robert Neville, which was also Sean Hudson, a British author, horror writer, similar to James Herbert. He wrote a lot of books, Slugs, Spawn, a bunch of other ones he's got out. Most of them came out in the UK. Some of them came out in the US. I'm not sure why this one was published as Robert Neville instead of his actual name, Sean Hudson, but who knows. So this one's Death Day. This was Leisure Books. Leisure Horror. Pretty thick book. Good size. I like that artwork on that one. Next one is another British author. Never heard of before, but this caught my eye. I did see it somewhere else before. This is called Cathedral by Ian Maitland. Ian Maitland. It's called Cathedral. This was published by Headline Feature. You can't really see it there. It's a really used book, but that's a UK publisher. Headline Feature horror. So it was never released in the US. Headline Feature has quite a few good horror titles that I have. Mostly by Steve Harris and a couple of others. I think they did some of Richard Lehman's stuff too back in the 90s. So this looks pretty interesting. Pretty thick book. And there you can see it. Cathedral. And very gothic looking. As you can see that. Okay, next one is going to be David Robbins and Specter. This is published by BMI, Book Margins Inc., which I think was part of Leisure. And this was mid-80s, I believe, Specter. David Robbins, I've never read anything by him. I know he's got a few other books. This is going to be my first book by him. Yeah, there you go. BMI. Interesting. And then